Hi, welcome back. Here we are on day 9 already. We're flying through them. Um, I am delighted to have to see the numbers each day when we're doing them live, but also delighted to see during the day when people are checking in again. And then it seems like some people are starting later as well, so and catching up with us, and that's really nice. So I would really implore you to try and encourage other people to do this. We're doing this for ourselves individually at this time when we need extra space, extra self-care. We're beginning to transition out of an unusual time for all of us, and we need to have little mechanisms to protect ourselves as we transition. And sometimes that's when things can become challenging for us, when we're changing from a way of doing things to a new way of doing things beyond our comfort zone. So that is really how and why I developed these practices. And in us acknowledging and minding and taking care for ourselves, we also develop a greater awareness for that which is beyond us. So developing more awareness for other people, for our community, especially, and that's where Galway Simon community comes into this. And I would encourage you to get other people on board, and also to get those people to support and donate the Simon community at this time. Thank you. Okay, so today's practice is along with the breathing and relaxation that I fit in every session as well, is all about the neck and the shoulders, an area that comes up time and time again in yoga requests. And when I think about the shoulders and the neck, when I think about any specific body parts, I think about firstly sit back and go, okay, how naturally do those joints or those parts of the body move? So what are they meant to do? How were we supposed to? And I just give myself pause to consider that, and then I try to explore those movements even greater. So just pausing for a moment and considering, with your eyes closed, you can kneel, you can sit, you can be on a chair, back against the wall, and just considering your neck and the load that your neck takes through the day, the heaviness of your head on top of your neck, and how your neck is part of your whole spine. And think about the movements. You don't need to do them, but you might even begin to move a little, or imagine yourself moving in the neck, the natural movements of the neck. If there weren't any injuries or stiffness or discomfort in the neck, how would you naturally move it? And then pausing to think about the shoulders and the natural movements of the shoulders, and how you move the shoulders through the day. You might possibly consider or remind yourself of the movements that might cause stress or strain or discomfort in the shoulders and the neck. Consider here and now how you might be able to ease that stress or strain or discomfort in the neck and in the shoulders. And once you've had that moment of pause, moving the awareness to your breath, eyes are closed. Notice your posture here, keeping your front ribs in, allowing your shoulders to drop back and down, your neck long, softening in the face. And then begin to breathe into that yogic breath, in through the nose. The abdomen rises, big, full and round. The diaphragm is free to move. The ribcage expands a little. And then breathing out through the nose. So trying this for a few rounds, in through the nose, big, full and round, in the abdomen. And out through the nose. And if you've been practicing this regularly, you'll know that we were trying to get the length of breath in and out equal. So see if you can reconnect with that now. Inhaling for whatever number works for you. We've been working on 4 and 5 counts. So trying to match the length of the breath out with the length of the breath in, or the other way around. Naturally, we'll find that we either breathe extra long out or extra long in. That's from habit. So trying to balance and calm the mind, the nervous system, the body with this equal length, this coherent breathing. And now we're going to try to bring the shoulders and the arms into this, so you can open the eyes for a moment. So we're adding movement to the pranayama this morning, so a little different to how we've been practicing before. As you breathe in for your count of 4 or 5 or 6 or 10, wherever you're going, slowly raising the arms forward first and up above your head, and reaching up as if reaching to a high shelf. And then slowly, slowly lowering the arms forward and all the way down. So you're doing this in any position that works for you. So trying to match, this is a moving meditation now, movement and breath coming together, and slowly moving down. So don't follow me, I'm going at a very fast rhythm just to show you the movements. You try to match equally the length of breath in with the movement up, and the length of breath out with the movement down. And some people find this really, really helpful to move deeper into that breath awareness. If it causes you any stress or any strain or tension, forget about it. Just release the hands down again. And after your next exhalation, whenever it comes, lowering the arms down. Empty the lungs fully right down to the very end. Well done. And then opening the eyes, sitting or kneeling for a moment, have a little smile to yourself. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to take our time now to move into the neck and into the shoulders. You can do it kneeling, you can do it sitting, however you like. You can even come to standing if you're feeling really energetic. We haven't got to standing through the practices just yet, but we're getting very close. Okay, so think about the movements that naturally come to the neck. So nodding the head, lifting up and down, that flexion and extension in the neck. Keep the shoulders out of this, so keep the shoulders relaxing. Keep heaviness in the shoulders, a weight on each shoulder, up and down gently, and breathing through it, in and out of the nostrils. You can slow it down, just feeling those movements. And then moving back to the center, so that's our yes action, and then trying your no action, looking over one shoulder, back to the center, and the other shoulder, back to the center, breathing in and out as you do this. Breathing in and out of the nostrils, beautiful. Coming back to the center, and then we take the tilting action right and left, so a stretch through each side of the brain, or neck. The left ear is going to go to the left shoulder, breathe into that, back to the center, and right ear to right shoulder, and back to the center. One more time, left ear to left shoulder, back to center, right ear to right shoulder, breathe. Well done. Okay. And then we can put all of those together. So we'll start at the left shoulder. Allow the chin to come into the chest. So that's the nodding action up and down. Ear to opposite shoulder. And then lifting the head up towards the ceiling. Don't stay there for too long. The weight of the head is a bit much. And then circling again. And looking up to the ceiling, and then changing direction. Breathe in and out of the nostrils as you find these movements. Well done. You might find some creakiness in your shoulders. Just try to breathe in your neck. Just try to breathe through it. And then coming back to the center. Well done. Okay, for the shoulders now, as we did with the breathing, reaching the arms up above the head, the neck is working into this, the whole of the spine is working into this as well. Reach up as high as you can, and then lower them and drop the shoulders down. So imagine you have sponges under your armpits there, and you're squeezing those sponges out. That's a really nice, helpful tool. And again, reaching up, up, try to lift the shoulder blades, lift the fingers, and possibly lift the head to look up. And then slowly lower down, shoulders dropping. Beautiful. Okay, working the arms out to the side, palms up towards the ceiling, and then rolling the shoulders in and out. So you can go into a really full rotation where the palms are up towards the ceiling as you roll the shoulders in, and then rotating so palms are up towards the ceiling as you roll out, and then again rolling in. Good. And rolling out. Beautiful. And then pushing the hands in front of you to separate the shoulder blades. See how that feels, the spine and neck work into this as well. And then push the hands down and press the hands back behind you, shoulder blades coming together. Good. Again, pressing the hands in front, rounding the spine. We practiced this on all fours yesterday. Angry cat and happy cat, and pushing the hands behind you. Well done. Release, and then rotate the wrists, just give them a little wiggle. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to take bringing the shoulders and the neck together now. If you have the legs crossed, cross the opposite leg up top, interlocking the fingers behind the back, and then taking the hands over to one waist. Press the palms together and then the elbows together, so shoulder blades are coming together as well. Drop those shoulders and then see if you can work your head or your ear to that shoulder where your hands are on your waist, and breathe into this. Well done. So you're trying to roll this shoulder back. Breathe. Slowly coming back to the center, and just a little hold on the other side, not overdoing it. Back to the center. Good. Releasing and come to the opposite hip. Palms together, elbows together, rolling both shoulders back, and then ear to that shoulder where you're holding the palms at the waist there. Breathe happily. Have a little smile to yourself. I often say, if you can't sing a little song in the yoga posture, you've gone too far. Well done. Slowly come back to the center. It should always feel joyful, and release. Good. Rotating the palms up towards the ceiling again, just feeling that movement. And then we're going to work the fingers down towards the ground. So we're working in through the inside of the arm there. Well done. And keeping that flex in the wrist, you're going to slowly roll in the opposite direction. Good. And see if you can work your fingers in the way. Well done. So this is not a good position for the shoulder, you can see, but it's really good for the arm, for the nerves through the arm that attach to the neck. And then we work in the opposite direction, working and opening up the shoulders. Well done. And then releasing those palms down and pausing there to breathe into it. Ensure that your front ribs are coming in. Beautiful. So this is a lovely work for the shoulders here. Just moving the cushions out of the way. Well done. Breathe here. See if you can keep the palms up towards the ceiling, but work your shoulder blades a little closer together. Good. Your ribs are still in. Breathe. And slowly releasing the hands down. So this is a perfect shoulder position if you can hold it and if you can remind yourself. So if at any time during the day you feel this tension in the neck and in the shoulders, it's not merely a matter of just dropping the shoulders down in that forward roll. It's more beneficial to get the shoulders opening and the shoulder blades back and down. Okay, do you see the difference? So if we're just dropping shoulders down, that's not enough. If we're opening shoulders back and down, that is fabulous. Well done. Okay, from here, working the arms out nice and wide, and then we're going to take one hand over the other just to give yourself a great big hug, and see if you can walk your fingers down to hold on to your shoulder blades there, breathing into this. Well done. So this is a classic yoga pose here coming up, the arms. We're going to release the hands. We call this the eagle arm. See if you can take your knuckles towards each other or your fingernails towards each other. Some of you can even weave your inside hand there onto the other palm, and then lifting the elbows up. You're going to feel that stretch through the inside shoulder, and release the elbows down. Keep your chin in. Again, lifting the elbows up. Breathe into it and down. Well done. Last time, lifting up. Good. And lower down. Good. Extending the arms out. Breathe into it. Rotate the shoulders up. And cross the opposite elbow on top to hold on to your shoulder blades. And this might be enough. Just holding here is plenty for most of us, many of us. Releasing the hands and see where you go. So knuckles towards each other, maybe taking the palm there and lifting the elbows up. Breathe, of course, those of you that are yogis and practicing here, you can incorporate any leg movement, any spinal movement into this. As long as you can smile, as long as you can breathe through it. Well done. Soften the forehead. And releasing down. Good. And finally, I'd like to take the feet onto the mat now and see if we can work a little more into the neck, the shoulders, and also the spine. So feet are on the mat. You're going to hold onto your shins or to the backs of the thighs, whatever works. And you're going to round the spine. So this is the action that we were doing earlier, pushing the hands forward, separating the shoulder blades. Okay, holding onto the shins or onto the thighs and look down towards your belly. Well done. And then coming forward, you're going to work the chest forward and then the shoulder blades back. Good, without sticking the chin out, remember that's important. And then again, rounding to look back towards the belly, shoulder blades separate and coming forward. Well done. So there are many variations here in the legs. If you wish, you can have soles of feet together, holding onto the shins, or you can cross the ankles or feet onto the mat. We're working into the shoulders, also into the neck, into the head, but the whole of the spine and the pelvis are coming into action here. Well done. So we're beginning to warm up a little more, work through the body. Take a few more moments, a few more movements, breathing in and out. Well done. And then coming somewhere in between those two positions, taking your time. Good, stretching the hands out in front of you, give the fingers a little wiggle, the wrists a rotation. Beautiful. Fingertips onto your shoulders and just take your time to circle your shoulders as you wiggle yourself around. Okay, so sometimes I ask people to do these unusual and distracting things so that we challenge ourselves to bring some tension into our minds, and we practice figuring out how do we bring some tension or extra layers into ourselves and stay calm, stay connected, stay focused. So you continue to breathe as you wiggle around and you circle, and then you circle in the opposite direction. It's a little bit like patting your head and rubbing your belly, being asked to do these unusual things. It's good for the brain. Well done. And release. Beautiful. Okay, so thinking about those shoulder rotations, thinking about the neck, the natural movements, and trying to remind yourself daily or at different points during the day to work them in the best way you can. So we're going to finish today's practice as we began yesterday, as we ended yesterday. I'm going to bring you into legs up the wall. So you're going to find a wall for yourself. If you haven't done it before, just pause for a moment and have a look at me. I have a very thin wall here. You're going to place one hip as close as you can to the wall, to the skirting board here, and then take your time to wiggle around onto your elbows, and then slowly begin to walk your feet up the wall. Now, if this isn't accessible to you, you can have the feet or the calves on a cushion, or sorry, on a few cushions on the ground to lie down, or you can lift the legs up away as we did yesterday, just holding onto the backs of the leg with the belt or with the towel, or you can do legs on the back of the chair. Okay, we're adding a little layer to it today. This is our resting pose. If you have a pillow or a cushion, you can place it on the belly. It can be very calming and settling for you. And then taking the arms above the elbows out to the side. So the elbows are in line with the shoulders, and then the wrists fall up. So we sometimes call this the cactus position. So the elbows aren't too high or too low. And this is a nice opening for the shoulders and for the chest. Keep your chin in, your neck nice and long, and breathe down to your belly. In and out of your nostrils. Let the legs be soft. You can wiggle your toes.
Nice and calm and gentle, settling in the breath, in the mind, in the body. 2 more rounds of breath here. And of course, if you have the time, you can stay here longer. If you have other things to deal with in your household or in your work, gently begin to bring yourself back, wiggling the toes and the fingers, rotating in the wrists and the ankles, bending at the knees, hugging the thighs into the belly, right arm over your head and rolling onto your right side, resting there. And then pushing into your left hand and slowly, slowly easing yourself up to sitting. You can sit with your back against the wall. I'm very far away from you, so I'm going to scoot forward. Closing the eyes, lengthening through the spine, neck long, chin in, one hand onto your heart, acknowledging yourself with kindness, with respect, acknowledging with kindness and respect. And then offering this generosity beyond yourself, moving back into your heart and naming your 3 gratitudes for the day. Well done, everyone. Namaste. Thank you. I hope you can join me again tomorrow. And if you don't get to do it tomorrow, you can do a few in one day. And thank you.